run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gonna cut you down. Sooner or later, go tell that long-tongued liar. Go and tell that midnight rider. Tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter. Tell him that God's gonna down. Tell him that God's gonna down. Well, my goodness gracious, let me tell you the news. My head's been wet with the midnight dew. I've been down on bended knee, talking to the man from Galilee. He spoke to me with a voice so sweet. I thought I heard the shuffle of angels' feet. Called my name and my heart stood still. When he said, John, go do my will. Go tell that long-tongued liar. Go and tell that midnight rider. Tell the rambler, the gambler, the
awesome. You're here just in time.
Yeah, I saw it. Just play.
So basically, it's just playing somewhere now.
Oh, yeah.
Unplug this, you'll be able to hear it.
on for a long time. Run on.
Come here, you. You're like the busiest woman known to man. So you probably won't stand to this side of me so I can do the mouse. So we've got Amy, Aname, L. Actually, I wrote their names down here. Amy's here. L's here. Anime's here. Gabriella, she goes by Texas. So,
you can run on for a long time.
I don't have a girlfriend.
Run on for a long time.
No, she's a friend. She's a girl who's a friend.
For a long time. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. Go tell that long-tongued liar. Go and tell that midnight rider. Tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter. Tell him that God's gonna cut you down.
Shabbat Shalom. Can you all hear me?
Coming in loud and clear.
All right. You want to go by your phone?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Hi, everyone.
Hello. Did I unmute my mic properly?
You did.
Oh, good. Okay.
Everybody else is still muted.
I'm new to this. Sorry, guys.
Hello, everyone.
Amy's unmuted now.
Amy.
Elle, unmute yourself.
LL, push the button.
Texas is unmuted. We're just
Hello,
waiting for Elle.
Texas. Yeah, I'm pretty new to this process. I really appreciate you doing this show, man.
Oh, you're very welcome. Elle.
I'm sorry, guys.
There
Look,
she
I'm
is,
very new
Mama.
to this.
Okay, everyone. So we have Amy. Say hi, Amy.
Hi. Hello, everybody.
And we have
Awesome to
Anime.
be here.
We have Anime.
Yep, from the woods of Oregon.
We have L from L1978.
Hi.
We have Texas from Texas.
Hey.
And this is Ethelyn. She's from here.
What up, Mama?
Awesome.
All right. So everybody's been sort of introduced. We know where you're located. Amy's in Alabama. Elle, do you want to tell them where you're located?
Sure. I'm in the Northeast. I'm in Pennsylvania.
Okay, so we got Oregon, Pennsylvania, Alabama, Texas, and Arizona. And so how many people here are of you ladies are either married or not single?
I am a married woman.
Okay.
I'm married with 2 boys.
Okay. And Amy?
I am also married.
Texas obviously has Nick. And Ethelyn?
I'm single.
Would you have children?
Oh, yeah. Grown.
Yeah. All right. So what the purpose of this was to kind of find out the female perspective on the without rule of law situation that we could all be facing at any moment. Obviously, Jackhammer Mike and I have gone over and over and over the male perspective, but very rarely do we get to hear what the ladies are concerned about. And so I'm going to throw a few topics at them and just let them tell us kind of what their concerns are. I think you guys have all agreed, like in an order that you're going to go as far as answering questions.
I
Yes,
believe
sir.
so.
I think that
Mhm.
I think that I would rather not go first, actually, just because I'm still kind of collecting my thoughts, and I would like to also hear, what the other ladies have to
I get the
say
feeling
before
that I get the feeling Anime might not be opposed to going first. She seems like she's pretty outgoing.
I could give it a try. Sure.
Okay. So I guess the first question I have, and then you can just jump in wherever it feels. First, I want to know for my own personal thing is like how many of you are, what's the best way to put it? Followers of Christ. How many of you have accepted Yeshua as your Lord and Savior? I kind of want to get a foundation for like kind of where your beliefs are coming from. I obviously am all about the Father.
So you'd like me to
I am
give her a go
definitely.
starter, or
Sure,
Sorry,
just kind of
sorry.
tell us if you're if you're a follower of Christ to begin with.
Sure. My mother's Christian Baptist and my father is Baha'i. So I had the option to choose Christ, and I did. I wrote that new covenant on my heart. But I have an open mind to loving and working with people of other beliefs, but I feel really strongly about Jesus personally.
And I'll just say that yes, I refer to myself as a recovering Catholic. My parents put me in Catholic school 1st through 7th, but I'm Christian. I believe Jesus died for our sins. I believe in the Lord. We read the Bible in my household, and it's I'm kind of like Anime. I'm not really open to changing my beliefs, but I am open-minded to hearing others' beliefs.
That's wonderful.
You want to go?
Oh, he's my partner. Jesus, my partner. There you go.
Can you hear
Amen.
Ethelyn when she talks? She's very soft spoken.
I can hear you just louder, Mama.
Anybody else?
Texas.
Absolutely. I'm my father's daughter. I am a follower.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Awesome. All right. We got an awesome group.
Okay, I just wanted to say that I believe the Bible 100%, and I am open to hearing other people's thoughts on God, but ultimately I believe that Jesus is the only way to God, and I don't think there's any room to negotiate there.
Yep,
Just wanted to say that.
Amen.
Well, I think it comes to once you go through like you say you're a recovering Catholic or something. Once you go through a few, if you actually are seeking and you find, you're going to find the truth. But if you aren't seeking, you're not going to find the truth. You're just seeking, and but if you want the truth, you're going to find it because you throw away this other stuff that doesn't quite make it.
Yep.
And I also think it's a constant journey, a constant, it's an everyday thing, a personal relationship, and just an ongoing thing every minute of every hour of every day.
Exactly.
It needs to be a part of your life.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, definitely.
Constantly seeking because, we got to find the truth always, every day, every moment.
No, the truth will set you free. So here's like Do you consider yourselves preppers? Like, would you define yourself as preppers, or do you have another word for it, or do you have another like point of view as to what you're actually? Do you just consider yourself like awake, or are you
Awake,
officially a
yes.
prepper?
I personally would consider myself
I'll
a
go ahead
homesteader. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Anime.
Oh, okay.
I was
So,
just gonna say that.
Sorry.
Originally, I didn't know if I would be a very good guest for this show because I don't really consider myself a prepper. I play a very traditional role in my family. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I've got 2 kids at home, 1 child she's grown already. And so I don't really consider myself a prepper, but I do know that there is a very strong possibility that, you know, the crap's going to hit the fan soon. And so I'm the one that goes to the store. So I do have extra, I've got extra rice and beans and peanut butter and coffee and, first aid kit, stuff like that. But I think what's really been impressed on my heart is to stay at peace, honestly. I don't, I'm not like, my life doesn't revolve around being like afraid of what might happen. Okay. Because I'm not really afraid, but I am. So I'm not overly obsessing and prepping like I think some do.
Can I follow that, love?
For sure.
So like you were saying, Amy, with the mindset aspect of it is, I mean, I've lived rough when I was younger, but now that I'm a mom, at least for me, I've got 2 11-year-olds. I consider it more like learning the skills that my grandmother would have had just to get by day to day. And I put myself in that homesteader type of mentality where I stay tool heavy, and you've always got preps and I, learning the skills to like pressure can and dehydrate and things like that are just basic life skills back in the day. So the term prepper would be more like, learning self-defense and firearms training and stuff like that, which of course you'd want to have those. I don't know. Do you want to follow up, one of you guys?
I just definitely, feel that. I definitely follow what Anime is saying. I would definitely consider myself more of a homesteader and not so much a prepper, for sure. She's right on.
Yeah, living simply, and I think if we sort of think what could happen, that sort of helps us think what to do, and for me, I don't have anything to protect me. So all I prep for is what women mostly do is the stuff right around you with, hoping someone else will be there to protect us, but you still have to do some prepping. But, it's the food and the water and keeping everybody together kind of, but you sort of think what will happen in order to know what you're going to prep for.
Just knowing history and what has gone down in the past. I mean, you prepare for the worst, and especially when you've got kids.
Yeah.
Well, I consider myself awake, and I consider myself a prepper also. I think because of where I live, being prepared for hurricanes has kind of has just evolved into that. And for me, I don't want to rely on the government or anybody else to come and rescue me. So I try to learn skills like homesteading as well, and taking different classes to help me protect my family and myself.
Exactly.
Elle, do you want to go?
Yes. Okay. So in my household, Well, first of all, I'd like to address the whole being awake thing. People get lost in these terms, but I first became alerted to the fact that things were not what they seemed. I was working at the blood bank in 2001. We all know what happened there. And that's when I started to open my eyes. But when we talk about, being red pilled and all this, again, it's an ongoing process. I don't think it's just you wake up. I think it's you go down many rabbit holes and you're led, here and there. But in my household, um, I definitely consider myself a prepper, although, I am all for the Second Amendment. I'm a constitutionalist. I'm a nationalist. In my household, I am the prepper of my household. I have medical skills and other skills that I think people need to develop, as well as, going to the range and practicing. I do that with my 11-year-old son. I think it's important, as well as, the Bible, learning the Bible, learning how to defend yourself and be safe. But I do know that I need to be better at prepping, and I'm nowhere near ready. And I'm also concerned with my location, where I am living in the suburbs of a big city, Philadelphia. It is concerning to me. So we're looking to move to our place out in North Carolina. But I'm learning. I am still learning, and I'm building my preps. So that's where I stand at this point.
Okay, I wanted to let everybody know that Nick makes preps, and Rena also are moderators. And if there's anybody that gets out of line, they're just gonna get rid of you. So just everybody on this channel always stays pretty cool for the most part. So I'm not too concerned, but there are people that will boot you out. And also, there was one other thing, but I can't remember at the moment. But so I was going to ask everybody, what your best guesses or your biggest concern as far as what you think will be the cause of civil unrest or a shit it's a fan situation. Okay, Rena, thanks.
So I think. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead this time.
Thank you. So I think we're sort of in the middle of economic dire straits already. I mean, I know everyone's got their pet subject, right? And so mine is peak oil. And I believe that, the combination of the petro dollar and peak oil is collapse. So, I mean, that's my end all be all reason, I think.
All right, I'll go second here. I do have a lot of theories, but I think it's best when prepping because we don't know 100% what we are prepping for. I think it's very important to cover all angles and just try to separate ourselves as much as possible from, being attached to the government, being able to go to the grocery store every other day. These are things that we can all do no matter what, if it's an EMP, a natural disaster, whatever the case may be. Take yourself back 100 years ago, have candles, have, just simple things. So that's how I look at it, because, we really don't know. There's so many angles that we could get hit from. It's just good to be prepared, to be able to take care of your family, no matter what the situation. We've been so conditioned in this country to be so reliable on everyone else but ourselves and our family. I'm not saying that it's necessarily good to be tribal, but I'm not saying that it's bad either. I think we need to form groups where people have skill sets, come together communally, and be ready for anything at any time.
I agree with that, Al. I wanted to say that in my personal opinion, I feel like there's multiple things. There's many different things that could happen that could bring us into a state of war. People that, yes, I use the word deep state. I do believe in the deep state. I believe in the deep corruption. And I am also a Trump supporter. I do believe that Trump is trying to bring down the cabal. And so these people have so much, the cabal has so much power that there's no telling what they could do. I mean, whether it's geo-engineered storms, I mean, just there's just so many different weapons I feel like they could use against us. And I think, though, that the main thing that they're using against us is each other. You know, turning citizens against citizens, and just that could actually be the war right there. It's possible.
Yeah, I think that will be the thing.
Yep.
Is that will be the riots. That unawakeness to the awakeness fight, and I think the unawake ones are led by the media mainly, and they're incited. It's very emotional, and it's never like making sense what they say or what they do. It's just fight or fire up their emotions, and that's how they react. They come with these little statements that don't make sense, and attack other people for no reason. And I think the fruit of the Spirit is shown in the peace-loving people, because they're truly trying to find God. You know, they're checking their spirit before they shoot off their mouth or whatever. You know, they're checking their spirit and aiming for the peace and the goodness and unity and things like that. Actually, that isn't the fruit of the Spirit, but in the end it is, you know. Love. And any comments on that?
I like her.
Did any of you listen to prophets?
Amen.
On YouTube, I love listening to prophets. My favorite is Sadhu Sundar Selvaraj from India, and another favorite is
Taylor.
Neville Johnson. And you guys can write them down. They're the prophet. I've listened to prophets for a number of years, even John Paul Jackson, and then there's the late Kim Clement. And these, it's like I feel the prophets have been taken out, and now it's up to this everyday people to do the work and to seek the Father, instead of us following the prophets or teachers and stuff. I think that's the way God really wants it. And just wonderful things have been said, like even the prophecy of Trump getting in. That's how you know who the true prophets are. You know, what they're saying is coming to pass. And that's why I like to listen to them. And what those two prophets have been saying, the top two I was saying there, is prepare yourself and come close to God, and don't be so worried, but be common sense. See, like I was raised in the country. We canned, we butchered, we did a lot of things. And, you know, when you have those skills, you just go back to them instead of being frustrated and running to the store or something. I think it's going to be beyond that. I think there's going to be persecution for Christians, and Sadhu Sundar said it's going to start in 2019 and especially in 20. And in 20, there's going to be the federal ID. You can't like travel on airplanes or anything without that federal ID. And can't remember what it's not the drive. You can't use your driver's license like to travel anymore. You have to have this federal ID.
Yeah,
So
it's called the Real ID.
Yes.
The Real ID. It's
And
going to have everything on there. Your your banking information, your health information, complete violation of the Fourth Amendment, and just a complete, 1984 situation. Very, very sad.
Yes, and Sadhu says that's pretty well the start of the mark. But I don't, it's not asking us to bow or giving up our beliefs. I hope not anyway, yet. I don't know, and that's, I think, the turning point for us, as a woman,
Well,
you think of that.
There are so many different scenarios, and the more you research, they just multiply. So I think it's important just to be mentally, spiritually, and physically prepared for anything.
Yes. And like I said, it comes down to those skills that we're practicing and our peace. And I think that the peace and the fruit of the Spirit helps us decide whether someone comes to the door, they're actually honest people or need help or whatever. It helps us decide a yes or a no on a lot of things. Wisdom.
And also, God-given intuition.
Yeah.
That does come into play when it does get down to it, and the situation does come. We all know it's coming. And you speak of prophets, but that may be so, but it is written. Revelation. It's written. It's coming. And just to piggyback off of what you said and off of what Texas said, it's just good in general, even if nothing was afoot, to be prepared and to be self-sustaining, to be in good health so that you can protect your family, protect your preps, and, maintain some kind of quality of life. Help others when it doesn't put your group in danger. And it's just, it's something we should all be doing anyway.
I don't have kids, but you have to teach them wisdom and the spiritual discernment as well. Because they could invite someone into your home and say, Mom, but this person really, and then that person goes, a little child at their age, and that would be really hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, luckily my 11-year-old is very, very, actually I feel bad about it sometimes. He's very, very alert. I think I've even made him neurotic sometimes. He maybe knows too much and is too cautious of people. And then of course my 2-year-old is too young yet. But yeah, we have a password, that only the four of us know. If the person doesn't know the password, you don't get in the car. Also good to have, as the matriarchs, as the females, it's good to have, that's what really, people are saying they're gender fluid and all this. No. Okay. Women were meant to kind of organize. So it's good to have a meeting place, a secondary meeting place, should things go wrong. If you're able to homeschool. Get your children out of these indoctrination centers if you're able to. That's where it all starts with the mind control and the conditioning and the desensitizing these kids to you guys understand where I'm going with that.
Yeah. I just wanted to, I think that as I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I know Al is also. Aname, I'm not sure. I think that you work, but I think you also stay home, don't you? You do a lot at home.
Yeah, I run my own business and stay home when I can.
Well, that's awesome. So in the way that our society is right now, it seems like it's a struggle to live on one income. So like, for example, my husband works He works a lot of hours. And he doesn't really, I don't want to say he doesn't have the time, but my role, I feel like the Lord's shown me, is to be like the voice of truth in the family. And because I do a lot of research, and because I have the time to, and I watch a lot of videos on YouTube that I consider to be like the real news. So, you know, my husband's working and doing what he has to do to make it so that I am able to stay home. And so I feel that it's an important role that the woman plays, if, you know, especially, well, we all play an important role, but when you're staying home and you have that time, you know, taking that time to make sure that you're aware of what's going on. And then I will in turn tell my husband, because he's so busy running on the hamster wheel, trying to keep things, trying to keep the bills paid and everything else, that, you know, it's easy to not be paying attention to what's going on. So it's another very important role that the woman plays in my home.
Passing that message on to your family in peace, rather than we got to do this, we got to do that. You know, it's like you have to be like settled in yourself before you can pass it on. And that means too, if the shit hits the fan, you know, something happens, when you have to have control of your emotions and feelings. We're going to do this, we're going to do that, and keeps everybody together. And you know, that's giving them a plan in all areas: mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, financial. You sort of got the plan worked out.
Exactly.
And it would be very easy to allow yourself to be completely consumed with fear and despair. But especially when you watch some of these videos, some of this stuff that we are learning and discovering, it's mortifying. It's mortifying. I mean, the crimes against humanity, the crimes against children, how scary is it that our government has become so just people, like I said, my husband working, and a lot of times the women are working too. And so, you know, they keep you just stay so busy running on the hamster wheel, like I said, that you don't even know what the heck is really going on. So when you wake up to what's going on, it's mortifying. And, you know, but I did go through a period of time where I was like horrified and just really scared, but I had to rise above it. And I really do feel like that is the message that that has been on my heart to share from the very beginning with my channel, is that just a message of hope and faith, and how crucial that is for survival. Because I feel like faith activates God's power. And so you've got to keep the faith, and you have to cling to the word. And I have one verse here that I wanted to share. And this verse came to me before the show. And it is Philippians 4. Philippians 4:8-9. Finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, if there's anything worthy of praise, think about these things. What you have learned and received and heard and seen in me, practice these things, and the God of peace will be with you. So I feel like keeping our peace is also keeping God's protection over us.
Amen, Amy.
And that's all.
Yes, amen. And if I could just say something, I've got the chat up here, and Bob Barker, I believe, hit the nail on the head. And I think you mentioned it too before. You know, they are trying, the powers that be, whatever you want to call them, to decimate the traditional family unit. They don't want the mother, the father, they're trying to get rid of that. And I thought that was a really interesting comment. That is what is going on here. And before the fall, and I've spoken about this on my channel, before the fall of every great civilization, right before it, this acceptance of the degradation of the traditional family, gender fluidity, sexual debauchery, that has always been present. You can look at any look at the Roman civilization, research it, it's true. And then in addition, Jaylee, I believe, I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong, made a great comment as well, saying that we all have PTSD just from living in this world. And that is what we need to get away from. Get away, kill your TV, read a book, things like this, get back to the basics, the fundamentals of, living off the land, grow a garden, which I know Amy's going to start in the spring. I'm really excited to see that, Amy, on your channel. But I just wanted to point that out because that was such a good comment about the degradation of the traditional family. And that's what they're doing.
I'd like to bring up that I am unable to see the chat. So if anyone has questions, maybe Elle or Contingency could relate those, if you could. Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah, I wanted to let people know that I did try and get Flavia in here. For some reason, she's not getting the invites. And when we're done asking the questions, we'll go to the chat. And so save your questions for later. And if you want to, you can, you can direct your question directly to any specific lady on here, or you can ask a general question, but just save those towards the end. The other thing I was going to ask, the next question was something that Elle brought up about what she was talking about, skill sets. Do any of you have, I know like you mentioned Amy is going to get into gardening and stuff, but do any of you have specific skill sets that you are learning or you already know to make yourself more valuable to your friends and family if things go high and to the right?
Well, I know I do. From an early age, I've been trained, and I don't want to say proficient, but pretty darn good with firearms. I have worked in the medical field. I'm 40 years old, my whole life. So I know CPR and a lot of medical things. So those are two skill sets. I also do have a green thumb. We have a garden every year. But I know that there's so much more that I need to be doing and learning.
It's overwhelming.
It is.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you, Elle, as far as like just starting from the beginning, some of the life experiences that I've had and traveling and seeing the different parts of the country and learning about like gardening and things like that. Super important. But also the self-protection aspect of it is not so much just firearms, but learning, like people call it gray man, where the situational awareness and being able to move freely in any situation. I think it starts from that point.
That is such an important part. I can't believe, Aname, you're the best. Anime is always on my channel with the best comments. The gray man, not drawing attention to yourself, being low key. In this society, we've been conditioned to grab for attention and be the center of attention, and that's not good in a SH, shit hit the fan situation. Gray man, very good point, Anime.
Another point is we don't have to worry that what I see is a lot of things happening under Trump, and not just him, but I think he sort of looks there and go, how'd that happen? Like the right person get off of the Supreme Court at the right time or whatever. It's like, I think God's doing a lot of this through our prayers. And I think that is, like you had said, prepare. And I think that the preparing is saying those evening prayers with our children and our spouse and the family together, it really bonds the family together. And it makes the words that form the confidence and the peace. And anyway, the woman, I
That
feel.
is so true. A family that prays together stays together. That's a saying for a reason. We pray every night, and we don't do the sissified one. We do the if I should die before I wake. We go through, we God bless everyone that's on our mind, anyone that may be sick. Praying with your family and especially with your spouse and for your community is something that a lot of people don't do, and it's a necessity.
One of the things that Sadhu had said is prepare for persecution of Christians. And he, one example, a friend of mine, a client of mine said, I said, well, I'm ready. I told the Father that I'm willing to lose my head over, if he needs me to be one of those. I really feel that, like say happened in the Holocaust. I know the Holocaust. I think there was like so many that had to die before the world had to realize that the Jews didn't do anything to deserve all this, and to make that spiritual turn in the world and to get them their nation, that got them their nation. Unfortunately, the bad way, but I think that the souls that will die, and then the Bible says that will be very precious. And they said there's a lot of them going to lose their heads. That's going to be, we find that in the Bible. And so I said, and one of my clients says, yeah, I told God that too. It's like, I was amazing. And so I feel, Sadhu, I think he told me, I think that's where I heard it. One of the prophets have said that this one couple was, I think the mother or father had the vision that someone's going to come and ask him to die. The bad guys are going to walk in, and it did happen. Anyway, what she says is, what I want you to do is close your eyes. Keep your eyes really close, tight. And they slit their throats right there in the family room, one at a time. I'm going to sit, and don't worry about us, and they talked about the Lord Jesus. And that's a hard, you mentioned that in that prayer. And I hope that you young girls prepare for that decision for your family members, that they are that strong. So that's what my hope is, that we don't fall in those important times. And we know what we would be losing if we would give in to, like you say, the deep state or whatever, there's a right and a left. And if our family knows really what's going on, they're totally aware. And I think, we always say, I'll give you my life, but it comes down to it, you're shaken, and you don't, like, I don't want to do that. But then again, I don't want to do that, but I will if that's what you want me to do. And I think daily we have to say that,
Yes. Even though, like I said, I do try on keeping my peace. I definitely do think that it is a possibility. I don't, that it could come to that, like you're talking about. I don't kid myself into thinking that that somehow I'm, completely immune to what could possibly happen. And I'm definitely, I want to say that I would be ready for that moment. But I think that I would just I would go down with such a fight that.
Yeah.
I would go down with such a fight. I don't know if I could stand there and say, yeah, slit my throat. it would be just a mess.
This story was for the children, so they wouldn't see their parents be killed, because they said, give your life up instead of God. And there was another story on the Prophecy Club. I think the Prophecy Club host said he saw a vision many years ago, his wife and himself being taken to a guillotine, and the wife was just fighting and praying these things, and at the end, the man who had the vision, I don't remember who it was, said he saw the man who did the execution. He never did it again. He left and went to the right side. And so, yes, give our all. We aren't just like giving up at all, but she was praying and fighting the whole way.
Wow.
Texas, do you have anything?
Did Flavia make it on?
I sent Flavia another invite to a different email address, so we'll see.
Okay.
It's chilly out here in the garage in Arizona. You got a coat?
Yeah. Texas, do you have anything?
Hey guys.
There she is.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I'm going to have to go pretty soon. I'm hostess with the mostest tonight, and I have to feed 8 people in about an hour. But I think it's Italian night: lasagna, garlic bread, stromboli. But I think that this we are too PC right now. I think that's going to be another reason we fall. There's too many divisions along race and age and color, and we need to all come together, and we're all Americans, we're all humans. That's how I see it too.
Yes.
Amen. Texas, I literally just uploaded a video, a PSA. Divide and conquer is their mantra, not ours.
Yeah.
They're making all this stuff up, guys. They're making it up. They don't want us to be together, but it's innate in humans to want to help, to want to love, they are causing the divisiveness. That is so true, Texas. So true.
It's sort of hard to show them that there's the devil's the instigator of the whole thing. How do you girls sort of reveal this to the naysayers or the ones that are trying to destroy? How do you guys reveal the truth to them when they're so kilted wrong?
Well, I start by just I think the easiest way is to show them just how controlled the media is. That's the place to start. And once you can get someone to see, in fact, I just did a video on it yesterday where they're all reading, newscasters over the whole nation reading the same exact script. Once you can get someone to believe that, it opens their eyes to, yes, people are, we only see what they want us to see. They want us divided, and we need to band together for humanity, guys, for humanity. It's not about being nice and being politically correct and worrying if you're going to offend someone. There's no time for that shit right now. Time is out for that. Okay. You got to grab people and shake them hard, and pray that they see that the plan of the devil and his evildoers here on this earth is to divide us through race, whatever the case may be. The leader of Black Lives Matter, whatever his name was, he lives in a mansion owned by George Soros, for crying out loud. People would just research just a little. They would see that this is just all a master plan to keep us divided.
Mm-hmm. Revealing truths.
Right.
I think the one was realizing, first off, that the mainstream media is, I mean, I don't hate to say it, but I know that there's some people that really don't like Trump, but they are many of the people. I truly believe that. So seeing that, I saw a video where, like Al was talking about, just all of the news channels saying the same things. It was very eye-opening. And so I think that is for anybody who is trying to lead somebody, to the truth. That's definitely the way to go, is exposing that corruption in our mainstream media and news and entertainment even.
As you were talking there, I was thinking, if you hate Trump, then it sounds like you hate Trump so much. Can you write down 10 things that you hate about him? And the thing is, I don't want to write it down. I just can't stand him. I can't even stand and it's like, if you can't write these down for me to understand, help me to understand what you hate about him. Because I would assume that you are really seeking the truth. And if you're standing up for the truth, right? Is that what you're so mad? And because the truth is, not being, he's so dumb. It's like they call him these names. And well, if he is, please put them down on a list. And that's the list that you can use to reveal truths against the anti-truth. And that's why
I think I'm sorry to interrupt, but Flavia seems to be trying to get through here. Is there something we need to do, TCP?
I think she needs to click the little phone icon.
Yeah.
I sent her a message about clicking the little phone icon, so she should be here soon.
Great, Aname.
So my next question is something we've touched on before, is basically what your family and friends think about the fact that you're, I don't know if you want to preppers, or the fact that you're awake and that you tell them things and they think you're insane. Are any of you dealing with kind of like opposition to your beliefs and what you feel is coming?
I think it's safe to say that everyone in your chat and every one of your subscribers and everyone deals with that in some way. I am, my husband came home last Sunday, beer in hand, watching the Kansas City Chiefs game. Like, he will watch videos with me. But it is hard when you're the only one and people think you're crazy. And I've got people in my life that still believe the official story of what happened in 2001. I mean, it's unbelievable that people don't look up and see what's being sprayed. And it's very hard to deal with. But I think if you just pray and have resolve and be persistent, persevere, and just try any angle you can. I know I do really think I have a good channel, but I think for the younger generation, I think a call for an uprising, he does a lot of good work, just exposing the repetition. And I think that is where people need to start if you're trying to wake someone up. Just exposing that, look, they're really doing this. It's not a coincidence. Nothing is random. There are no coincidences. This is what's happening. If you can start there, I have found that's the easiest way to get people to come around.
Yeah, I think it's all
I agree.
Seeds that we plant. It's like, well, if Trump is so bad and you hate him so much, that, you sort of go along with it, then where's the truth? Or, seek the truth or show me some facts or whatever. But it's all seeds planted in their heart and their mind. And that's just a little crack opening the door, for them to think and awake. And maybe that could be true.
Yeah, I found that I was looking up in the sky and I'm being told to believe what they're saying as opposed to what I'm seeing with my own eyeballs, and then articulating it in a way that they understand. It gets to the point where it's like, well, okay, I'm obviously not going to be able to change your mind, so we'll move on to the next subject. But I mean, even recently, there's the article in Popular Mechanics that they're starting these projects of spraying. So they're it gets to the point where you can't hide it from people anymore. And so then they start talking about it like it was their idea. I've found that to be true in my situation with my family, not so much. They know me well enough to know that if I'm making a big deal about it, I've already done the research, not for them, but before them. So, I mean, and yeah, like you were saying, Elle, the whole 9/11 thing. I mean, 2 planes, 3 buildings. Give me a break. I mean, it sounds really rude, but it's like you believe what people are telling you versus what you see with your own eyeballs. So you kind of have to pick and choose the subjects that you bring up with certain people.
Right.
I mean, what do you guys think?
You're right. You're right. I mean, and certain people are, and again, people are too PC. They're too scared to say anything, too scared to offend. There's no time, guys. We're running out of time. All right. If people are offended, they can move on. But, and I tell everybody, God bless you. I don't worry about if they're Muslim or if they're whatever. I don't have time for that. I say, God bless you. Maybe it'll plant a seed. But yeah, you got to start with the subject, and unfortunately, time is short, and we're not promised tomorrow. But you want to try to get the people that aren't awake, to use that term lightly, because it is a process. And I just wish we could, as a group, quit with the divisiveness, all band together, and just wake everyone up. I wish.
Exactly.
I really wish we could.
While it's still halfway sanity and not riots yet, I think that I forgot what I was going to say. It's good to bring up little topics that start their brain thinking, and then they get all, really crazy. And it's like, let me see, who's the crazy one here? Who's like tilting? And I think they should be able to see that, but I think
after years of, they say from cradle to grave, after years of brainwashing, it's that pride. People can't admit that they have been duped, they've been tricked, they've been lied to. So that's that. That's why it's such a problem. People have been just so conditioned.
I think it's a problem, but I keep having hope for anybody. And I think that anybody that God sends in front of my face, in my environment, and they get stirred up and mad at me and I'm hurt or something, that's okay. They probably go home and go, why did I get mad at that person? Or else my angel goes and knocks on their head and go, what were you so mad at that nice lady for? I mean, I think that spiritual things happen behind the door, not just with the, maybe the things that are happening in the legislatures and the Supreme Court and everything. Not just those things are happening. I think they're happening on our small scale, which we are required to take care of our own environment and affect people with seeds. I think the seeds, and they're all seeds of love and kindness. So, and then we end up being very patient, and they go, I'm crazy. She's patient and kind, and I'm crazy. I wonder why. And they'll knock on your door someday. Hopefully, if we keep praying for them.
I agree with you 100%. Sometimes that's kind of what I consider myself to be, is just a seed planter. Yeah. And I don't stress out about if they get it right away or if they see it my way or not. But I just kind of, even if it's somebody at a grocery store that I don't know, like ending it to God for it to go from there,
Yes, we do have to take our seed planting job seriously, because I really feel us women do that. Like one of you said, you're really preparing their hearts and just organizing people, and we do have serious jobs here. Like when your husband comes home, you really help to fill him in on what's up, because he's tired, and you just help be his voice.
Yes, and he knows. He went and got all of our like propane tanks filled up. I think it's propane. so that we could have, you know, something to cook on if we didn't have electricity. And he goes and gets the gas can. And he gets extra ammo and stuff. But than that, he just goes about his duty. And I do mine, so.
Yeah.
It's a good question, though. Very important.
All right, so I have like one, maybe two more questions, and then we're going to get into like some that are a little more uncomfortable. But one thing I wanted to know is you guys are all kind of spread out, and I know we lost Texas, but Texas and Arizona, pretty much the same, not too much different. But do you have any specific fears that are directly tied into where you're physically located? If things were to go south, are there things about where you are physically located that you think are going to present?
The Cascadia subduction zone for sure.
Yeah. So you believe that? Do you believe that whole thing about like they'll be cut off from I-5 West, or do you think that could be fear porn?
There was buffering. I didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry.
So you believe that what they say about everything west of I-5 would be gone, or do you think that that could be just nonsense or fear porn to scare the people? Do you think that's a real thing that could happen?
There's a lot of geologists that have presented different outcome scenarios that I've taken into consideration. I don't have conclusive evidence one way or the other, but as far as just the effects that we've seen with, say, Japan and Fukushima Daiichi, and, you know, I'm in Oregon, so we've got Hanford and got the Columbia Nuclear Generation Station. I mean, even if half of the West Coast didn't fall into the ocean, we'd still be in pretty bad shape. So,
True.
I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think a great channel for that is Mike Morales. Great channel. I do believe I'm on the opposite coast. Obviously, I'm more worried about being in the suburbs of Philadelphia and things like that. But I do believe the Cascadia, I think that that's real. And I also know, I know this is, I don't know a lot about it, but after World War II, wasn't there something built on the East Coast that was never used that's still there? Do you guys know what I'm speaking of?
As far as
Like
nuclear
underwater?
generation stations, or?
It's like underwater. I'm sorry, I don't know the name of it, but yeah, I think those are all real volcanoes, all that. Mike Morales is great for those kinds of natural things that are real but are being aggravated by HARP and weather manipulation and all that. Yeah.
I wrote down that person's name. I'll look into that later. Thank you, Elle.
Sure.
And what about population density where you're located? Do you think people are going to be your main issue?
Yes.
Yeah.
Kind of lucky about.
I definitely feel
Amy,
blessed.
Amy
by
doesn't
that.
have. Yeah, Amy doesn't have that issue. I don't think.
I was not at peace before we moved here. In a subdivision for 10 years. And that was always one of my biggest concerns, was the people around us. And they were good people still. But so I definitely, I have a much more sense of peace knowing that we would be bugging in, not bugging out. And that we have a lot of, you know, just we don't have neighbors. We don't really live in a busy area. And I think that pretty much everyone around us is probably prepared and not going to be, you know, necessarily trying to like break in to our house or anything like that. So that's definitely a blessing.
I mean, we're far enough out in the woods where we should have a good head start. So that's something to be grateful for. But still, I mean, see how it goes
I mean,
down
yeah.
in other countries.
I
Yeah, I mean, they definitely
screwed. I mean, I am. I'm screwed.
I was just gonna say, I know that it could happen. I mean, we have a gated driveway and we have some surveillance and, you know, guns. So we know that it's definitely, you know, it's a possibility that someone could, you know, who knows what could happen. You just never know. So, I mean, we're prepared. We don't, I know that, you know, we're not completely invincible just because we're in the woods.
Well, Al, you said that you're screwed being in the, you know, Pennsylvania or wherever you're at. And I don't like to look at it like that. I like to say that I'm still going to be an influence in the kingdom. And I know you do look on it like that. But I don't want anybody to think that, you know, they're up a creek because they're in a dense area, bad area, because it's really all about God and his kingdom and us influencing people as we go about our life. I think that's what it's about.
I totally agree with you. Unfortunately, a lot of people around here on the East Coast, it's fast moving. It's a lot of crime. Not where I am, but close enough by. And you know, I don't fear any man but the Lord. But having said that, I'm also a realist, and I know enough to know that evil does exist, and unfortunately, where I live in the suburbs of Philadelphia, there's tends to be a little more than. But I do totally agree with you, and you know, of course, I try to be that way. But when, you know, the proverbial shit hits the fan, I don't think there's going to be a lot of time to discuss this with people that are hungry or just ready to do damage.
I guess I was saying, if you feel that you're going to be at a dead end and your lives are going to be taken, it still is. You're still an influence. You really are. And you know, if that's what you would feel, that you would be really, you know, a dead end there, that no place to go or do anything about the crime and stuff. You call out upon the Lord, and you're going to climb to higher spiritual levels with a higher battle there. So, and I know you're prepared. You're quite a, you know, you practice with the ammo and everything. So you're probably going to be a higher level, just doing a higher level fight in the spirit as well. Call upon your angels and don't feel too dead end.
Thank you.
You know, in the end, someone was saying that, you know, it's just such a mess, but through all this mess, they say we're going to get our unity. And what the prophets have said is, if you can make it through this, America will be strong and won't fall anymore. But we are at a tilting point now, and we need to hold this all together. And it'll be unity after that. And it might be that our country is not looking quite as good geographically and all these other things, but maybe that keeps the bad guys away, and we won't have so much of the mark of the beast because we'll be all EMP'd or something, you know. You won't have a lot of electricity or something. I don't know, but it's like sort of following whatever God gives us, we just deal with it. And we're just developing those skills to do that now, you know. And we're being like Noah and Joseph, I feel. Preparing.
Right. Well, I do hope to head for the hills here and make it out to the Blue Ridge Mountains out there in North Carolina, where both me and my husband do have family. So we are looking to do that. But my husband runs a restaurant, 12 to 14-hour days. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I do work from home for the restaurant, but Yeah, so I'm just hoping to get there before the event, we'll say.
I would say the Lord wills that. You know, he wills that, and in the meantime, you're planting seeds. You know, with other people, knowledge, wisdom, examples.
So my battery started to go low, so it seems that my picture has popped up. I've got my phone plugged in though, so it should be fine. I wanted to say, first of all, can you hear me?
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay. I wanted to say that, I mean, I've been friends with Al since the summer, and I've recently gotten to know Aname through the chats, and these women are extremely intelligent, and I just admire so much
Thank you,
the
lovely.
knowledge that they have and the knowledge that they have shared. I am constantly learning from these women, and not just women, but also the men too that I've gotten to know. And I'm just so grateful for it.
I'm really glad I found you guys.
Well, the Lord willed it, and nothing is random. We were put together for a reason. Even the contingency plan here, you know, finding us and putting this together. This is all, nothing is by accident. I just don't believe it.
Amen.
I agree with that. And I think about my heritage. We were, a lot of people where I came from in South Dakota, were from the Germans from Russia. The German people fled to Russia because of persecution, Christian persecution. They stayed there for many, like several hundred years. Then they fled there because of bad persecution again to America. Somebody said they stopped off in Germany first and then came to America, which is possible. But talking about our will, and yes, the Father's will, and yes, it will be done as in the Word. The Word will be completed. I feel as an individuals, though, we have to choose those things, you know, what Abraham did and everybody along the way. If you look at those stories, you're seeing that that person's will was adjusted, attuned, and yes, like God formed that person, like he formed Trump for this occasion, a very stout, stubborn, not really stubborn, but strong man. He isn't going to move, because I think they sort of took him in his bankruptcies. I think they actually tried to take his money, and he figured out why they did that, and it's like he saw that there was an underlying deep state doing something, because he didn't do anything wrong in those incidences. And so I think he doesn't want this country to go to pot either. But down to our wills, it comes to our will has to submit to, we're like brought to those choices, and then we get to say, yes, we'll do that. And so I think along the ways of my heritage, and not just coming to America, but the godly background took choices. Like there's a lot of colonies near me, near where I was, and they chose a godly way, you know, and the communities. And I'm so glad that that the godly choices in my heritage, you know. And so as we're doing this important change in our country, it's our individual wills that have to come in line with God's wills. And that's really how we get things done.
Agreed.
That was beautifully said. That was beautifully said. And I couldn't agree with you more.
Okay, so the next one. Amy sort of mentioned this earlier about bugging in versus bugging out, which I am 100% in favor of. The last thing I think you should ever do is leave your place of residence, because that's where not only you've got all your stuff, but you've got a roof over your head, and you know it really well, and you know how to defend it. But do any of you have Flavia? Do any of you have
up, lady?
Flavia finally made it.
Yay.
So yeah, we're gonna have some.
Welcome.
We're going to have some questions for you because of the fact that you are the only one who's not in the United States. And so you have a completely different perspective and a different worldview based on your location. But I was going to ask everybody if it came to where you had to go, does everybody have a bug out plan?
I tend to think even in the area that I'm in, that bugging in, I know the terrain, I know the people, I know my neighbors, and without giving too much info away, I think I would be able to do gray man even with my residents and protect myself better where I am in my case.
But do you have a plan if you have to go? Do you have a
if I can make it to North Carolina in time, if I get enough notice, then absolutely that would be my plan. And on the other side of the Blue Ridge Mountains is where I would head.
Honestly, my husband and I haven't really like sat down and said, this is what we're going to do if this happens. I guess maybe we should do that. But at this point, you know, we're just planning on staying here. And if we can't stay here, then we have another location that we could go to, which is another blessing. It's land of the families. And then if we can't stay there, then there's actually caves that my husband knows very well. Caves
Awesome.
and yeah, and bluffs and things like that.
I like caves.
So yes, we have talked about. Yeah, I can't say I like caves. I don't like spiders or bats, so I'm kind of screwed. But yeah, if all else fails, there are caves that we know about that we could go to. It just sounds crazy, but
they have bug spray. They do have bug spray, Amy.
I don't want to put that poison on me.
Yeah, and you probably don't have a lot of air exchange in the cave, and then you breathe in that spray.
True, true. Flavia, you are absolutely gorgeous.
I use lemongrass. Lemongrass essential oil.
Yeah.
Well, I think probably all the women here, you're probably all what you would probably be considered conservatives. And let's face it, conservatives are beautiful women, and liberals are satanic monsters. So, yeah, Flavia is quite lovely. You're all beautiful. Aname, do you have a bug out plan if it were to come to that?
Okay, first off, I have a lot of liberal folks in my family, so I'm going to hedge and say I'm fiscally conservative and I'm socially open-minded, but not so open-minded that my brain falls out. So
there's a lot of that in the Northwest.
As far as your question, like the plan is your first prep before you start loading up all your rice and beans and stuff. The plan is the whole point. So for me, anyways, I would love to bug in, but that's the reality of the whole prepping world, I think, is that people will want to bug in until their stuff runs out, and then you don't have a choice. You got to go out and hunt. So I have both. I mean, my first choice is to bug in, but if a perimeter is breached, we're bugging out. And yeah, I've got a 83 GMC diesel and a 22-foot comfort trailer, and we're ready to go. But stuff's got to be where you're going already. You've got to have a plan, especially if you have kids. It's like getting lost in the woods. Stop and wait there. I will come and get you. You know, so the plan is the first prep. That would be the emphasis that I would like to give that question.
Right on. And you're in the belly of the beast there in the Northwest. So
correct.
Godspeed. And Ethelyn, do you have a bug out plan if you have to? If you gotta go.
I don't. I would like to head north, but it's colder there.
A lot of people are going to be heading north here.
Yeah, I know. You guys are smarter. Head south, but I don't know anybody south. I'll have to come with you.
Maybe.
I am heading north for sure.
Heading north.
Alaska.
Oh, way north. Okay. And
yeah, but there's stop off points on the way, obviously. I mean, it depends on how bad it gets, right?
Right. Okay, Flavia. So I think first we'll see how your connection is. Say hi to everyone.
So hello, everybody. Thank you so much for this invitation. And I hope that I'll be able to make me understand, my accent, but I'm very glad to be here today. Thank you so much. And much more when we are be able to talk about God. I was listening everybody saying about religion, and in my case, I don't have this particular behavior, go to the church or go to some place to talk about. I really enjoy more stay at home and read the Bible, and have my connection with God, my thoughts. And the one things that I have been testing, feeling, it is about my, how to say, my feed, my food, my alimentation. I am eating less, and when I have this situation, that I'm doing, eating too much, that my brain, my sensation, it is more when I start to think about these poor people that they don't have food to eat. They don't have possibility to do many things, like to buy food, like go to buy clothes or something to improve better their home. And right now in Brazil, we are living very hard time with our government, and of course everybody are having bad times, includes me. For example, if I want to paint my house, so I don't have budget for that, so I must wait many months to buy some so simple stuffs for me to fix my house. And for example, when I go to supermarket, I start to look what I can buy, what is necessary to me, if I can buy less. And then I see the price of the food. For example, the tomatoes right now here is so expensive. It's so ridiculous. We say here kilo. In United States is pound, but here 1 kilo tomatoes, it's like like say $4, for 1 kilo. So, and then I start to think how many tomatoes. I love tomatoes. I really love tomatoes. But I can afford to buy 1 kilo. So, and then I start to think, okay, I will buy 3 tomatoes or 2, because if they are big, and eat the clever way I can to not lose my tomatoes, my money, because what happens in my life right now, it's about, I'm a widow right now, like for almost, it will be 5 years in April now. And after 3 months, I start to be sick because I was very sad that I lost my husband. I had no idea about my problems, and my problem was cancer. And I had a cancer in my leg. But unfortunately, that my country, it's always a big mess, and corruption, government, and the democracy here doesn't work, So I paid my insurance health, but for some reasons, they didn't pay the doctors, and the doctors doesn't want to attend the client. And unfortunately, I were there in the middle of the situation. So I thought, well, I go to the government public health care and see what happens. When I arrived there, a doctor from IT, Cuban, Cuban, he said that my problem was nothing, simple nothing, that I can do in special clinic and cut the tumor in my leg. But what happens? I almost died. I just had the opportunity to be here, saved because my two nephews, they are doctors in other state, and they helped me, and put to me the best surgeon, orthopedic surgeon, doctor in Brazil. So I saved my leg. I saved my life. Inclusive, I need to pay a lot of money for that. So, but money is for this reason. We work hard. I've been working hard all my life and still too. So I think we make money for this reason, to give it back to us when it's necessary. It's not to buy, this necessary stuff. Anyway, what I've been learning with all my situation, I have been learning about food. I've been learning about God. God made very strong in my life because I had so many people that refused when I was starting at the bottom. And I lost my hair. This happens with me in 2015 now. Now I have now that I stopped the treatment. I stopped the treatment 1 year now. So, and then I learned about the faith of other people, about the other religion, because here in Brazil, we have people from different religions, Catholic, evangelics, Protestant, and many, very different, but everybody with very strong faith. And this changed a lot of things to me. I am Catholic. But Catholic, we don't have this. I realize that too when I go to the church. The most people, they are there and look to the other clothes, look into the other people, nice or not. It's Catholic people, some. It's like that. I think that Catholic people are changing a lot in this moment in Brazil. Much more when Bolsonaro, because he has very, very strong morals and faith in God. Because my country was totally lost with democrats and people in communism, because we are having two problems here. Communism with democracy, people lost their respect, lost their religion, their faith in God. Was very big fight to us here, but I felt that our fight here was more spirit, was more about the heaven and the hell, because we was living here in Brazil with no respect for nothing and nobody. So, and I could to make this comparison because when I went to US, I was living there in 2010, studying, and I realized that United States is has a very strong connection with God. And then I think that this problem like in US is more war with God and with the, because if you realize so many people are going to US, but most they are people, they go to United States, they should to enjoy the good opportunity that you have these people, the immigrants, you know. So the order, because what I mean, it's because I saw when I was living in Arizona, I saw, you know, a lot of come from Iran, Iraq, have plenty to house, food, health, cars, and the same way they, you know, it's always a problem, always a problem. Because people say, okay, Brazil has very natural, a lot of no resource. Okay, we have, but we don't know what we have the basic products here, but we don't know to make it good because we don't have technology. And then when we have the money, this corrupt people, government, they rob the money to buy machines and make medication people, things like that. So, and then I feel, like I told you, that for me, United have this connection with God, you know, in the spirit. I have a lot of friends, they live in California, you know, this woman, she actually is paid, probably now 88 years old, and her daughter, you know, she's believe a lot in God, and I could prove what I'm saying when I went to California. So American people, they are very special, and then they are big heart people. I went. I remember membership lottery. I hope I did understand. Nobody understand. No, nobody understands.
No, I
Everybody.
understand you. It's just your audio's cutting out a little bit just because of the distance. But so first of all, God bless you, and I hope you continue to heal. I have complete faith the Father will take care of you and you'll be fine. But yeah, the media here does not tell us anything. Like, we have no idea what's going on in Brazil. They don't tell us. We do know, was it Bolsonaro?
And then
Is his name's Bolsonaro?
Yes, it's Bolsonaro, the president here. He is a conservative, you know. He is the right.
Do you think he's going to make? Do you think he's going to make a change in Brazil?
A lot.
Good.
He will. His family is very. He has strong moral and faith in God, and right now we had a problems 2 days ago that killed a lot of people in a small city. You know.
Yeah, we heard nothing about that.
Yeah, and the Bolsonaro, it's already there, you know. And then
well, they've already tried to kill him once.
Yes, it's true. And then we know here that he will use the money the right way because he is very honest man. He's very honest, you know, because unfortunately Brazil in this almost 18 years and 30 years that the democracy are here, our visibility like a country, like a people, like a character, it's totally destroyed. You know, people see us like people that love this carnival and have fun, party, but not the right way. We love party, but we have moral family too, to understand. But unfortunately, what the world see about us is the best view. It's the terrible view, you know. And then now the Bolsonaro and all the ministers together, I'm certain that they will change this conception because you're very hard work people, you know, not too much here is dishonest. The most dishonest is there in the government. But the question is, we need to fight to survive. When you go to supermarket and we see the price of the thing, we don't have money, we don't have job, you know, we must to have a very strong faith in God for us to don't do wrong things. Don't go to crime, don't go to prostitution, you know. So this is God that talk with us, because if you think we have so rich country, we don't need to like that. But the last government, they cut our money, the Brazilian money, and they send to corrupt countries. They send our money to corrupt countries. So
Yeah.
that's not fair.
Like the United States. So
Exactly.
we're going to turn the chat over now for questions. So if you have a question for somebody specifically, go ahead and put their name on there. If it's just a generic question, just go ahead and ask it.
Okay, so that's because I'm so happy that I have this opportunity to be here and talk about God and say thanks to American people that is very kind, because Rotary Club, they help a lot of people here. They send a lot of things to people, you know. I know that I was member of Rotary Club, Lions Club, you know. So American people, they have very good heart. That's my opinion. I know what I say, you know, I can prove that. Okay, so that's it.
Well, thank you.
Sorry, I talk too much.
Well, no, there's a,
No, that was good.
The media has it so slanted that when you hear, I don't watch it, but they make it look like most people think a certain way and they're, you know, crappy. But I've always contended that the vast majority of the people here in America are fantastic people. It's just a very small minority that they blow it out of proportion. But yeah, I think people here are overall very good people. I know here in Arizona, everybody I've met is really wonderful here. And you used to live here, so you probably experienced good people here as well.
I was there. I was there almost 2 years. I was studying in those times. We would get the world champion here in 2014, and many people in Pima College, Comuna College, you know, they want to learn a little bit about Portuguese. So I was helping the Pima Comuna, you know, with some Portuguese words and how to do things here in Brazil. But this was my best experience.
Well, I think God is giving you an opportunity with a better president to sort of domino affect the what Trump is really doing in breaking the barriers into truth and breaking up the deep state. I hope that domino affects right over to you guys. And, you know, I think that Trump is sort of the point of the arrow, and hopefully other countries will then follow and do the right thing as well. But it's our prayers that have done what is being done in the White House now. And you must pray for your president and all your staff there too, in your government. And hopefully it'll get debunked, just like, you know, taken away, destroyed, just like it's being torn down here as well. We're getting things really undone like it should be done. And I think it'll happen in your country too. You know, you can put people together and like we were saying, more knowledge and prayer, like the seeds of knowledge that you can plant in people's hearts and minds will be good to change things. That's all it takes is a seed. And I think in the end, the kingdom will come.
Yeah.
Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
And
That's what we.
Yeah, because Brazil, it's together with United States, and I know that the government already say that because our president, he really loves United States, the president, Donald Trump, and then the most Brazilian people here, we love United States. And I can say that we are together and we will fight together to improve better our country, you know.
Amen. So does anybody have any questions for any of these ladies? I will be putting links in the description to like Elle's channel, which I've subscribed to for quite a while. Elle's channel is fantastic. I highly recommend it. Amy has a channel. Aname, do you have a channel that do you put up videos or anything?
I've been really influenced by Elle and Amy, and I'm a little shy. I feel like I could do good videos, but I don't know how to do it. But I mean, I have a channel. Yeah,
definitely have a lot to say, and I think there's people out there that probably need to hear what you have to say. So I would encourage you to.
Sorry.
I was talking to Anime. You know, I'll help you, girl. You've been with me, and you know how to contact me. I'll help you, and I've been trying to encourage you because all your comments are dead on accurate. And if you don't want to show your face, you know, film your cats, film the sky, and talk. You know, we'll help you. Amy and I'll help you. You know that.
Well, and you were talking about doing some kind of a lantern lighting video as a way for me to kind of ease into the mechanics of posting and all that. And I also really want to do a pressure canning over a campfire video because that's what really started me on the whole prepping thing.
You should do it, Anime.
Yeah,
and we've got people to help you.
Just don't overthink it, Anime. I mean, that's what I did for a long time. And, you know, my videos are pretty personal, and I don't really, you know, it's just kind of whatever's on my heart is what I share. And I also share a lot of personal stuff, as you guys know. But Anime, just don't overthink it and let God lead you in what he would want you to say.
And the way that Elle's always kind of bring people action gets the goods, right? And if I'm willing to go out and protest and stuff, I should be willing to post stuff on the YouTube. Yeah. It becomes so personal. I don't have my crew around me. It's just me.
I just look at it like this. I'm a stay at home and like, wow, this is actually a platform that I can use here at home. And why I'm always for a long time feeling like I need to do something. I want to do something, you know. And God kind of just showed me, you have it right here. You can do something right here at home, and just sharing thoughts.
I love the family that we've built here. This is awesome.
I think there's like a misconception. Like if you're going to do YouTube videos, they have to be like this great quality or something, and they have to be this certain way. But as you can see, like the more time you spend on YouTube, you see that there's so many just real people putting videos up, and it doesn't have to be perfect. And just the fact that it isn't perfect is what makes it interesting.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm proof you don't need any sort of production value.
I have
contingency. Your videos are awesome.
All time.
TCP, I know I don't want to break format, but I know you had said if anybody in the chat had a question. I just had something to say, if I may.
Absolutely.
To you, Flavia. You know, wow, you're an amazing woman, and I will keep you in my prayers. You know, I if there's anything I could do, please reach out. You know, I can give you my email, but I'd love to stay in contact with you. Yeah, I think you and I would get along well, and I could you know, just be a friend here for you in the U.S.
I will ask you right now this, that you can send me your email, because I had a great connection with you, and of course friend for everybody, but in this moment I'd like to have your connection for us to be able to talk and change idea, you know. I'm very happy. Thank you so much, because
Yeah,
you know,
thank
I
you.
really love this.
Anime, you know how to type. Can you type in my email for her in this Hangouts? Anime?
Let me see. It was
'Cause I've never used this before, and I really want to connect with her.
I'll put
it
it
was
in.
like a notification
Thank
thing
you,
that
thank
popped
you.
up. I just clicked on it. I don't know how to go back.
Okay, thank you. I think TCP said it. Yeah, Flavia. It looks like in the chat you have a lot
Oh,
of
good.
support too, and yeah.
Yes, I'd like to have more
TCP.
connection with the women, you know, in years in the channel, and thus to be able to talk and change idea, you know, because
Yes.
I have learned a lot with people here from this channel.
Great, great. I
TCP,
look
I
forward
feel
to talking to you. Sorry, Amy.
I feel like there was no, it's okay. I feel like there was something more that TCP wanted to address with us before this before the show ends. Was there, TCP?
Well, for one thing, Flavia, I put Elle's email in the chat, so I don't know if you can see the chat. Hopefully you can. I think you can. You've been typing. Prepping Sapper, you had a question about female hygiene during Shit Is the Fan. I had a whole list of that stuff, but the chat's gotten long. So if we do this a second time, which I'd love to, I would like to focus on that. And
very important.
Yeah.
Use Glad rags or make them.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. Like
there is. It's a lot to cover.
Jackhammer Mike and I, actually, this is a true story. I'm not going to say her name, but a woman was here recently, and the first question she asked me is, she came in and she said, "Do you have any tampons?" And you know, we're two single guys, you know, and I looked her in the eye and I said, "Of course I have tampons," and I gave her some because
awesome.
I use them for prepping, because they're, you know, for wounds. You can use the plastic applicator as a straw, the string as a wick, you know, the cotton, the fire starter. I mean, they've got multiple, but I think she's like, "Do you have tampons?" I'm like, "Yeah." And it was like, that's kind of what gave me the idea for this whole chat. Was like, how bizarre. Two single guys are like, "Of course we have tampons in the house." But and then we got into the whole thing about how they can be used. I mean, think about Shit Is the Fan. You can go to the Dollar Tree and get a box for like $1 of, like, I think there's like 6. The barter potential for just having 10 boxes of tampons. Just imagine, like, some woman's like, "Hey, I need this." And I'm like, "You got a can of beans?" "Yeah." "Okay, here you go." And it's a barter item that, like, nobody mentions. But I do want to get into the whole, yeah, I do want to get into the whole
idea.
Female, you know, the hygiene thing, but probably on another chat. But Bob Barker asked Flavia if there's a truth community in Brazil like we have this awakening in the United States. And I think I know the answer because they voted Bolsonaro in. But Flavia, are people waking up in Brazil to look for the truth?
Yeah, are you talking about guns, things like that?
Just not believing what the government tells people and waking up to the lies and the truth, and people, like, you know, the Yellow Vest movement in France, sort of like an uprising where people are just tired of the government and they're starting to wake up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the situation here.
Good.
And then inclusive, when you say about, you know, self-protection, you know, and then here it is something that I like to learn, because, you know, our country, it's a violent country, and the Bolsonaro president, they gave us the right to buy guns to protect ourselves, you know? So when many things are changing here, but the question is, because I want to learn how to shoot. If I want to learn, I need to go to São Paulo. because I am living here in the island. You know, it's close to Paulo, 1 hour, but we don't have much option here for people that have permission to teach. So Bolsonaro gave us the permission to buy guns, etc. But this will be not so simple because it's not everybody that can afford to pay teacher, you know, to teach us how to use, because I don't know how to use. I live alone, you know, I live alone. If I need to use that to protect myself, I don't know. I will be scared, of course. I'm certain that I will be scared.
Well, what's the pricing on firearm? The pricing, I would imagine, can most people even afford to buy a gun now that they're allowed to, or is the wealthy people the only people that are going to be buying them?
Very expensive. This costs to us here like $1 to buy 38 a gun, 38, you know, cost $1,200.
So most people aren't going to be able to afford to buy them anyway right now.
No, if you see the salary, basic salary here, it's $300
A month?
per month.
Yeah, see, they don't tell us stuff like that here. We don't know that.
Per month, but maybe, for example, some can get like a 2 salary. This will be $600. So
that's per month?
Per month?
Wow.
Yes.
Ouch.
Per month. It's true.
Yeah, people here complain and they have no idea how well we have it here. Somebody asked earlier if Flavia was interested in moving to the United States. She lived in the United States. She's in Brazil now. So, yeah, she already lived here. I think somebody was offering up a place for you to stay.
How about that, Flavia?
So, right. What?
How about that? Come to the United States.
Believe that I have my visa. I have visa to go to US.
Good.
Get you, Flavia. You need to get you a prepper.
What I need?
Yeah, Flavia, do you want to come? Do you want to come to the United States, Flavia?
I'm thinking about but I have been working my mind with that because I want to feel that I will not disturb American people or
No. Please don't feel like that. Please don't feel like that. Do not feel like that. What you see on the news is not so, Flavia. You would be welcomed here.
Wrong things, you know. I like to be correct. I like to do right things. I'm honest person, you know. That I have been suffering a lot in my country, you know, because to be honest here, to survive, must to have God inside the heart, you know, and then follow the rules, God rules. And I'd like to try. I'd like to go and to find a better opportunity to me, but I have a good qualification too. You know, I have education, I have a university. I am very hard work woman. I know to clean very well a house. I know to make food. I know to wash clothes, do a lot of things, you know. I love animals. So it is something that I like to go because for me right now in Brazil, it's really hard.
Well, I guarantee you have plenty of people here that would be more than happy to welcome you and give you a place to stay for a while. If you want to visit or whatever, just let one of us know.
Absolutely.
We can put together GoFundMe or something for an airplane ticket and things like that. We need, see, everybody's going absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Everybody's agreeing, you know.
That's a great idea. A GoFundMe to get her here.
Get her here. And you have children or what?
No, I'm alone.
You're alone. Oh my goodness. Come over here and work in the university. There's lots of jobs and just come over here. Just stick your foot out and let's get going on this.
Thank you so much. Wow, this is the blessing of God.
Yes.
This invitation, right?
And don't be slow about answering. Don't be slow about doing it. Don't be slow about doing it. You get started now.
You have God there. You have God here. He's with you everywhere.
Yes.
But it's something that I have been thinking a lot because I don't want to be old in my country because I'm scared to be old and alone here. You know, because in 4 years I will be 60. You know, and I have 65 right now, 56 years old I am. So, and we have a lot of teenagers here, young people in Brazil. It's a lot of competition, you know. And to my country, I'm out. So it is very hard, you know. And I was thinking, I don't want to be old in Brazil.
Well, there's a lot of people on here that are already saying that they would be more than happy to help.
Yeah,
yes.
Flavia, here in the United States, 60 is the new 30, girl.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's got to be a big decision to move up and move like that. But everyone in the chat, you know, that's something you're going to internally have to decide. But I mean, you could come here. There's tons of people that are saying you could come. Please don't feel alone. And if you feel that way there, Flavia, you know, and if you leave, come here.
Well, she doesn't have the money, I don't think.
Well, we can arrange it, can't we? We can all get together and we can make it happen.
How can we send you some money to get an airplane ticket? Can we get one here for you so that it's not stolen? You know, that's happened before. People steal the money when you send it. So if we can buy an airplane ticket for you.
So,
I think there is a way to do that where you can, it's kind of like when you can like buy someone movie tickets and leave them at the thing, something like that. I don't know what it's called. I don't fly, but I know something like that exists. Kind of like what is that called? When you leave the tickets for someone at the movie theater. I do think airports have that.
Ticket will call.
Yes.
It'll be enough for you to take care of your things there and to get a taxi and someone to take you to the airport and, you know, bags or whatever. That'll be enough for you expense, you know, to get rid of your apartment or things there and get things ready. If we can pay for the ticket and arrive here, we can pick you up wherever you choose to be. Where would you like to live?
Well, I know many parts in Arizona.
She lived in Tucson.
Arizona. I love Arizona.
Me too. Come be with me.
I love Arizona. I have been living there. I knew Sedona, Flagstaff, Phoenix, Tucson, Tombstone, so many areas in Arizona.
That's cool.
Yep, I guess you have to come be with me. Come be with me, Flavia.
I'll tell you, between this channel and Elle's channel, and we could probably even recruit someone like John X Army, maybe Marfugal. We could talk to them and get all the subscribers from all those channels to go to a GoFundMe page. We could probably have you a plane ticket in a couple of days, literally.
But if I can get a job, I can pay after, you know.
Well,
no, you don't need to
I
pay
can-
anything.
forget that.
Because honestly,
If everybody contributes $10, it won't be long and
Not
we'll be here.
Yeah, listen, I'm gonna put a call out on my channel. I do a live stream Saturday nights. And Flavia, I know you're on here, like on camera, and it is a big step. So I'm hoping you'll reach out to me through email. Arizona's great. I would love to get you a ticket, get you a car to Arizona. You know, you'll find a work, you'll find a way, you'll find a B. You are a lovely woman. You've experienced so much. You know what's up. And I think we can get you here if you want to come. Between all of what TCP just said, we can get you here, girl. We
so
can.
something.
Yeah.
What I have. Look at this.
Yes.
Oh, is it a flag?
Password.
Yes.
Oh, that's
Yes.
awesome.
Look what I have.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, yay.
Bring it on down, girl. Bring it on down.
Nice.
This is awesome.
Come on. She's ready. She was just given the
I
opportunity.
love that.
We've been waiting for you.
All right.
I
I'm going
love
to figure
United
out how to set up a GoFundMe, and we're going to, if she wants to come, yeah, we got to get her here.
You know, I have a little car that I'm not going to set. It won't be very expensive that I'll probably be able to get rid of, but I still need some money for her because I need some money. Maybe 500 or so that we can put that on the GoFundMe too, so she'd have something to drive.
Yeah, I don't know how to set up a GoFundMe, but I guarantee you I'm going to find out tonight.
Great. We'll have to find out how much tickets are.
Yeah,
You know-
I'll figure all that out. And CCP, I'll be in direct contact with you, and we can figure out so it's all streamlined and all in one place. I can contact John. I can contact Adam. I have John's personal number. See if he's interested in getting his audience to help, and we can do it. We can do it.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking between Elle, myself, John, and Adam. You're probably talking 150 to 200,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there should be no reason why we can't get her a plane ticket, the 500 for the car, and maybe like a couple hundred for spending money until she gets set up.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm going to be working on this right away, guys.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll work with Elle on this. And
okay, great.
Happy birthday, Susie Q. I just saw that in the chat.
Happy birthday, Susie.
So I must say thank you so much because, you know, honestly, after when my husband passed away, this will be almost 5 years now. And then I had a cancer. I lost job. You know, a lot of things happens in my life. So now I'm okay. And God gave it to me the second chance to start again my life. And that is something that I was talking with myself. And then I said, I want this second chance, not here in Brazil anymore. I really really want to try to United States this time.
Wonderful.
I never went to United States I never went to United States to work. Never. You know, I never stay illegal. Never. I never did nothing illegal in United States because that's not my character. You know, I have morals. So
now, Flavia, you speak what? Portuguese?
Portuguese, yes. Brazilian.
Do you speak Spanish?
Yeah, I speak Spanish.
Okay, because that's huge here. That'll get you a job in like a couple of days.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I have a graduation in Portuguese and English in university, you know.
Oh, yeah, we'll get you here. I'll tell you what. Do you have Elle's email? Did you write it down?
If I have a mail?
No, Elle's email address. Did you write it down?
Sorry, I could not understand.
Do you have a pencil and paper, Flavia?
Okay, yeah.
Here, are you
Yes,
ready? You ready?
Yes.
It's
Uh-huh.
ELE 1978 at
19
mail.com.
At
You know, like the at symbol? Like
yes,
the
I
at
know.
symbol? Yep. ELE 1978, the at symbol, mail.com. You email me, I'll work with TCP on this. You got it?
Okay. Yes, I got it.
I can't really see it, but
Yeah,
tell you.
Okay.
Yes, I
Okay.
got it. I will.
So, yeah.
Do you
Talk-
do you have Skype?
I do have Skype.
We can talk by Skype too.
Perfect.
Okay, you can look me up with that same name, ELLE 19 ELLE. It'll have my picture on Skype, and you can call me whenever you'd like.
Okay, I will add you right now.
Okay.
That'd be awesome.
Praise
Awesome.
the Lord. Praise
Yes,
the Lord.
amen. Praise the Lord. Who knew this would come of this? I mean, this is great.
Another prayer warrior.
Provision.
Another
This
prayer
is
warrior.
God's hand.
Sorry.
I'd like to go in February, in the end of February.
I'm sure we can
Or
arrange
March.
Yep.
In March is okay. You know, I'd like to go.
Come
When
February.
soon, yeah, when some people can fix, it's okay. And then I'd like to see everybody.
You got it.
There's a gentleman in the chat. I just pulled the chat up on my laptop here. John Cade. He says that, and I'm quoting him, hire and works in Tucson for $13 an hour. I believe that's what he said.
How about that, Flavia? You're almost
Can
hired.
you repeat? Just repeat, please, because cut. Can you say
It
again?
seems as if John Cade has offered $20 towards your plane ticket, and he also knows of a job for you, I believe, in Arizona. Point being, you've got a lot of people here ready to support you, Flavia. So if you're really ready, I would start planning.
Pack your bags.
February is just a couple days away.
Yeah, this is in the end of February. I will not bring too much things with me because I know that my clothes will be small because in the United States everything's changed, and I don't have too much things. But oh my gosh, I'm so happy. I can't believe it. Jesus, this is amazing.
Yes, you're almost hired for a job already.
I try to control myself for not to cry. I don't want to cry, but I'm so.
Well, the GoFundMe campaigns are usually 30 days long. So, and it's, you just set a minimum, and then if you go over that, that's just extra money. So outside time is once the GoFundMe is set up, it's 30 days.
You know what, TCP, with if I could just have a day or two, and with the people in your channel and a couple of my connections, we might be able to even bypass that GoFundMe thing altogether.
That's true.
And just get a PayPal thing. You put it in your name, and then you guys can handle the ticket will call and all that if you're willing to do that.
I will do whatever it takes to help out Flavia.
Yeah, we will organize this off air. Thank you, John Cade, and we will get her here, right, guys? Right, everybody?
absolutely. Prepping Sapper has said he's in.
Nice. He
Bob
speaks
Barker.
Spanish too.
Yeah,
I
everybody's
want to
in.
say
So.
I'm not looking the chat. That's because I don't know what people are saying. If you can leave the conversation to read the chat, because I'm not reading right now what people are typing.
Well, it just
So
understand that everybody wants to help you and is saying that they are praying for you and they want you to come if you want to come, and a lot of people are offering their help. So
I want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you so much. And I want to say that this week I was reading, I have a group here in the cell phone, and they put a picture, and this picture says about Isaiah, you know, in the Bible. And he says something about don't think too much in the past. Don't think in moments that you lived before, because God are taking control, and a lot of things in your life will change, and these are coming soon. I have this here, you know, I have this picture here, and then I read, and then I saw, well, what God will do for me to change my life, because it's incredible.
Yes.
It's incredible. It's amazing.
Okay, well,
Bless
Flavia, just get in touch with Elle, and then Elle can talk to me, and we'll get this all set up for you.
Okay.
this is great. This is so great. TCP, and thank both of you guys are awesome. And wow, I did not expect anything like this. This is awesome.
It's how God works.
Yes. Yes, like you were saying earlier, God's will be done. Yep.
Okay.
Praise
Well,
God.
if anybody has anything, we'll cut this so it doesn't get too long. But if anybody has, first of all, the ladies have been amazing. I knew you would. Just amazing quality sisters. I love all of you. And if you guys have anything you want to say before we go, please do so.
I'd like to say thank you to all you guys for inviting me to participate in this. And like what you were saying is that's the power of organizing like this. I mean, if you're standing alone and you're asking for help, but no, we brought everybody together, just small communities in our own private channels, and then we started linking them together. That's where we become unstoppable. So I'm really, really grateful. I'm feeling really grateful to be part of this family.
It's love that brought us together, and it's love that will bring Flavia here. It's
Amen.
not just Americans, it's the Christians here, and it's love, Flavia. So come with a smile on, because you're loved.
Amen.
Thank you.
Amen.
I just wanted to
Go ahead, Amy.
I just wanted to thank you. Thank you, TCP, for having to share our voice and share our opinions. We're living in a time right now where it's like frowned upon to even act like there's a difference in a woman's opinion, you know, or a man's opinion, or the roles that we play. And so I just commend you for recognizing that that there is that difference there between men and women. Appreciate you giving us the floor today and letting us speak our truths. So thank you.
You're very welcome. But I mean, God designed us to work together.
Not just Americans, it's the Christians here, and it's love, Flavia. So come with a smile.
Well, I'll just close with saying I have never, I just started my channel in August. I had an ankle surgery, started the channel. I've never been a part of something like this. I feel like I've never had this feeling like in my chest for Flavia and for TCP, all your people in your chat, and just this great group of people, and Anime and Amy and just everybody. And this is God's will. And I feel just blessed to piggyback off of Anime to be a part of this. This is awesome. And amen.
Well, I've been working on you for a while, Elle. I've been trying to get you on here. But I know you're busy, but
no, I'm not too busy for you. And this is just, I'm about to cry. I really am. I can't believe that this woman, paying $4 for a tomato, and in, a week or two, she can be up here where she belongs with people that care about her and love her. So she's not alone.
True. And Elle, are you live streaming tonight?
I do plan on it, yes, if they allow me to.
Everybody, subscribe to Elle and watch her live stream tonight.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll be there for sure.
I know you always are, Anime. Thank you. And Amy, and thank you all. Thank you all.
Okay. Anything else?
I hope I get a chance to read the chat later. Do you know how to make it so we can read it later?
If you watch it on a computer, after about an hour from now, the chat should be on there.
Oh, good. I'm glad you know how to do that. Thank you.
I guess I can help you guys picture what the cost for food is down there. Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't a kilo 2.2 pounds? Right? 2.2 pounds for a kilo. And so Flavia is paying $4 for like less than a quarter of a pound. Because right? Am I right? So we have a big pile of tomatoes here, and she's paying $4 for a little bit.
Once she's here, she can grow them. Yay.
That's what I said. Keep dreaming of tomatoes, Flavia.
She's got like a echo feedback going. Okay, so bye everyone. Thank you for participating. Flavia, make sure you get a hold of Elle, okay?
Okay, I will talk.
All right.
Thank you so much for everybody.
You're welcome. And thank you, everyone. And we will talk to you soon, okay?
All right, later, y'all. Stay safe. Shoot straight.
Peace out.
Okay.
I guess I can help you guys picture.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't a kilo 2.2 pounds?